You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-Mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-Mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borg. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon, welcome back. Today is Thursday. Partners meeting tonight. Members only, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's also the 10th day of April, 2025. That's 5 days till you got to get that tax return in the mail. If you haven't done it, jump on it. There's two people in the world you don't want to tick off. First is God, second's the IRS. 3 letters in both of those. You got the CIA, the FBI, the IRS, and the GOD. But that's at the top of the list. All right, anyway, thanks for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are. We're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. The first live broadcast is our live training room. So, in order to get into that broadcast, you got to be a member or a trial member. If you have not taken the 1-week free trial, No credit card required, with access to everything that goes on around the clock here at CFRN. When Michael joins us in about 50 minutes, he'll walk you through the process, walk you through the steps right up on the big screen. So pay attention. We'll get your indicators up and running today. And then you'll get 5 consecutive trading days, even though it stretches over a weekend. We don't count the weekend against you. Okay? All right. When the live training room ends each day, we take a 30-minute break. Today I took, I think, about a 32-minute break. And then we come back for this broadcast, the afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. Everybody everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There's 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast live. The best way, you only have to do this once. Go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down the page to where it says Noon Broadcast. Just click the link, fill out the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Going forward, what will happen is every trading day, about an hour before this broadcast starts, you'll get an email. In that email, there will be a link. At 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Now, the benefit of doing it that way is you have access to the question box, so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there'll be days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but still want to join live. And there'll be days when you'd like to join live, but you're busy, so you want to get caught up later. You can do both of those via our YouTube channel, which is easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, as we're doing right now, simulcasting, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,700 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. Now, if you're new to the world of CFRN, obviously you're not going to watch 2,700 broadcasts, nor do you need to. However, if you're new, it's a great way to see how we've evolved over the years. Thanks to the power of YouTube, you can scroll back 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, even more. Just pick some days at random. A day here, a year there. Check us out. See exactly how we started, and day by day, you can see how we got to where we are now. youtube.com/CFRN. Okay, you can see that we've posted here our daily schedule. This is for each and every afternoon broadcast. So we're going to dive right into our daily devotional. The topic we're on right now, and we're on day 8 of 10. Okay, so next week we'll be starting a new topic. But what we've been talking about for the past 8 days and 2 more days, listening to God. We all know we're supposed to pray. Pray without ceasing, Paul said. But most of us think of praying as talking. Yap. Well, God already knows who you are, what you're thinking, what you need. He already knows all that, right? So I've learned that when I pray, the best thing I can do is listen to God. Because He already knows anything I'm about to say. So I try to do a 10-90 split. I lay out my petitions, 10% of my prayer time. And then 90%, I listen. I let God speak to my heart through the power of the Holy Spirit. But I also believe in praying without ceasing, which means if I'm not talking to you or somebody else, I'm talking to God. And I don't move my lips. People look at you kind of funny in the grocery store. That old guy, he's talking to himself. Little do they know, I'm talking to someone far greater than myself. All right, today's scripture is James 4, verses 7 through 10. I'm going to share it from the Message translation. So, let God work his will in you. Yell a loud no to the enemy and watch him make himself scarce. Say a quiet yes to God and he'll be there in no time. Quit dabbling in sin. Purify your inner life. Quit playing the field. Hit bottom and cry your eyes out. The fun and games are over. Get serious. Really serious. Get down on your knees before the Master. It's the only way you'll get on your feet. Again, that was James 4, 7 through 10. What you hear from God is determined in part by the attitude you carry into any conversation with him. And again, prayer is not a one-way street. It is a conversation. Our mindset towards a conversation with God is affected by these following things. Number one, our prior relationship with God. Each of us has a history with God that began even before birth. He ordained us to be on earth, and he has a plan and a purpose for us, even though we may not have recognized them. However, until a person has received Jesus Christ as his personal Savior by faith, he will not be able to hear God speak on any subject other than salvation. If you're having trouble hearing from God, you may need to reevaluate your relationship with him. He's not motivated to speak to any of us on the basis of our good deeds or even our needs. He's motivated to speak to us because he has a relationship with us. So ask yourself, do you have a personal relationship with God? Number two, our understanding about God. What we hear is affected by our understanding of who God is. For example, do you view God as a loving or demanding father, an intimate or distant friend, a patient or intolerant teacher, a gentle or angry guide, a generous or reluctant provider? Do you see him as understanding or insensitive? If you struggle in perceiving God as loving, patient, gentle, generous, or understanding, it will color what and how you hear from him. And number three, our attitude towards God. As we approach God, we must be submissive to him and his will for our lives. James 4:7. we must trust that He will not only do that which is best and right for us, and we must come before Him with a thankful heart for all He has done and will continue to do for each of us. Being in right relationship with the Father, understanding who He is, and approaching Him in humility and reverence places us in the right position to not only actively hear what He has to say to us, but also to apply His truth to our lives. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we submit ourselves to You and resist the enemy, trusting that he will flee. Draw us close. Cleanse our hearts from pride and sin. Humble us, Lord, that we may be lifted up by Your grace. Help us to live in repentance, seeking You with sincere hearts. It's in Jesus' name we believe and pray. And everybody said, Amen. Amen and happy Thursday. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. Start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Yeah. All right. The Dow, currently down 1,785 points, 4.5%. The NASDAQ down 1,040. That's a little over 6%. S&P 500 down 285. That's a little over, it's almost 5.25%. And the Russell 2000 down 102 points, over 5.25%. Did we just give back 50% of yesterday's historic all-time one-day rally? Yeah, that's kind of how markets work. In the commodity basket, oh, and the richest part of all is this morning, Jamie Dimon's out crowing that he swayed Trump to do what Trump did. I'm going to be honest with you, Trump doesn't have a whole lot of use for Jamie Dimon. He is the modern day Willie Sutton. And if you don't know who Willie is, Google it. In the commodity basket, crude oil is down $2.94, trading $59.41 last. That's a drop of almost 5%. Gold up $95.20. That's a gain of over 3%. Silver up 31 cents, trading $30.72 last. That's a gain of just over 1%. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 2,894 points, 9%. That might be an all-time record. Shanghai up 36, a little over 1%. The Hang Seng up 417 points, a little over 2%. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 233, 3%. The DAX up 891, 4.5%. And the CAC up 263, almost 4%. So, we had a green day in Asia. It was a green day for the UK. So far, it's a big red Radio Thursday here. in the US of A. Now, I put a lot of commentary in the discussion group last night, and I hope you heed it, okay? I gave you some good advice for free. Read it, reread it, write it on the tablet of your heart. Fair enough? Fair enough. Okay. China has announced new retaliatory tariffs of 84% against U.S. imports in response to the Trump administration's 104% tariff on Chinese imports. The escalation came as Trump announced a 90-day pause on most tariffs, over 10%, excluding China. Later in the day, sparking markets to historic rallies. Trump also increased China's tariffs to 125%. Everybody's coming to the table to make a deal, and China is getting walled off. Well, they're communist. They should be. And today marks the 100th anniversary of F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. You can't make this stuff up. Of course, it is a cornerstone of classic American literature. Initially a commercial disappointment, selling fewer than 25,000 copies during his lifetime, it gained traction during World War II through military distribution. Since then, it has sold over 30 million copies worldwide and remains a staple in high school curricula. Set in 1922, Long Island and New York City, the novel explores the illusion of the American dream through Jay Gatsby's doomed pursuit of wealth and love. Inspired by Fitzgerald's youthful romance with socialite Ginevra Keene and his time on Long Island's North Shore during the Jazz Age, its themes of aspiration, class divides, and moral decay remain relevant to readers today. It's now in the public domain, and it has inspired at least 4 feature films, several TV episodes, an opera, 2 musicals, and more. Centennial celebrations include a Broadway toast, a Library of Congress reading, and the Empire State Building will be illuminated in green, a nod to Gatsby's iconic symbol of hope. If you haven't read it, I think you should. CPI, March's Consumer Price Index report, showed inflation pressures eased considerably last month, with annual core prices rising at their slowest pace since March of 2021. But it could be the last time investors see moderating price growth as President Trump's tariff spree threatens to upend recent easing trends. Yeah, that's the guy that created the largest rally yesterday in the history of the markets. And I got to find some place to get news articles from these little left-wing wingnuts. Oh my God. It's demoralizing is really what it is. Now, of course, U.S. stocks are down today as the reality of a U.S.-China trade war weighed on investor sentiment, even as President Trump instituted a 90-day pause on steep Liberation Day tariffs, and the European Union announced a pause on retaliatory duties. The White House clarified today that U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports are now at least 145%, not the 125% that was talked about previously. Have fun, China. You got a long road ahead of you. Tech giant Apple chartered cargo flights to ferry. Now, you got to hear this. 600 tons of iPhones. Now, you're probably wondering, how many iPhones does it take to weigh 600 tons? About 1.5 million. To the United States from India after it stepped up production there in an effort to try to skirt Trump's tariffs. The details of the push provide an insight into the U.S. smartphone company's private strategy to try to navigate around the Trump tariffs and build up inventory of its popular iPhones in the United States, which is its biggest market. Good luck, guys. And I love this one. President Trump said that he plans to withhold all federal funding to sanctuary cities, a move that would pressure finances from New York to San Francisco. No more sanctuary cities. They protect the criminals, not the victims, the president said in a post on Truth Social. They are disgracing our country and are being mocked all over the world. What other country protects the criminals, the murderers, the rapists, and ostracizes the victims? Only a left-wing, liberal wingnut here in the U.S. That's who. My opinion. Like it, don't like it, it's okay. Alright, enough of that claptrap. Logic 247. It's our 24/7 around the clock E-mini alert service. Not just E-minis, also crude, gold, silver. We're currently in week 349, and over the last 349 weeks, we've issued over 18,300 individual handcrafted alerts. And what we've averaged on a weekly basis is 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on market structure and a simple process we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. So again, 349 weeks, over 19,300 alerts, with a weekly average of 20% or less being stopped out. This week, which began Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern when the Globex markets open, at the time Valerie did the recap, now I've done some additional alerts since then, so she'll of course update it this afternoon as she does every day. At the time she did the recap this morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, we had issued a total of 42 alerts. That number's gone up now. We were still waiting on the outcome of 11. It gave us 31 actionable alerts, of which 3 or 10% would have been stopped out. Again, based on market structure and a very simple process that we teach all of our passport holders in their one-on-one mentoring sessions. Now, the true purpose of the logic alerts is to teach you to learn how to read a chart. Yeah, you can trade them. Sure you can. But I highly encourage you, as we approach this big round number at 20,000, you really want to consider using the logic alerts for the purpose intended. and that is to teach you how to read a chart. Okay? If you can't read case law, you'll never be a lawyer, right? If you can't read the medical journals, you'll never be a doctor, right? If you can't read a chart, you're not going to become a trader. So last week, we ended up with 2% stopped out. We had 51 alerts total, 9 never triggered, 42 actionable, 2%. So this week we're sitting at 12%, but we still have the rest of the day and tomorrow to go. Now, some of you may have never seen a Logic 247 alert. So I'm going to take this time to just run through what we've done so far this week. This was the first alert to come out Sunday night after the Globex Open. Now, if you're on the East Coast, that says 6:29. If you're on the West Coast, and I'm on West Coast time right now, it says 3:29. If you're somewhere in the Midwest, Telegram reads the clock on your computer. So whatever time zone you're in, that's the time that's going to show up here. So we had a short Sunday night that did not get triggered yet. And then we had a long on the ES. See, every alert has an entry price, an initial target, and an additional target, in some cases several additional targets. Now, after last week's rout, Sunday night, when these alerts went out, we were below the lowest weekly trading zone on most markets. The new weekly trading zones come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, and from that moment forward, everything is based on the new weekly zones. The Sunday night alerts are based on last week's zones. So we had a long on the ES. Now, what Valerie does is she captures a couple times how far price ran. So we had a buy at 52.60, initial target 62, potential resistance at 52.81, and the next one 53.12. Now, she's not going to go all the way back and keep monitoring this from Sunday night. But we did hit 52.86 and a half while this was still under her microscope. This was alert 19,310. Okay? So, from 52.60 to 52.86, that's 26 points. B stands for buy. S stands for sell. T stands for initial target. PR is potential resistance, which would be target number 2. Potential resistance, in this case, would be target number 3. And then the final trade to target is always the weekly trading zone above on a long or the weekly trading zone below on a short. This Dow never triggered. Then we had a hedge on the Dow. That was a long. 39,620 to 39,640. The last time she recapped it was at 49. It's gone higher since then, but I don't expect her to go all the way back and recalibrate that. Here's a short on the Russell. Here's the initial target. Potential support, potential support. Long on the Russell. Okay. 1864 to 66. That's enough right there to get your goal for the day. 2 points. And then the next potential resistance or target, however you want to call it, okay, was 1896. The weekly trading zone was 1908, 1909. And where did we get to? 1912. So from 1864 to 1912, wow, let's see. That would be 30 6 and 12. 48 points. 48 points. That could be your week right there. On the NQ, we had a short. And we dropped from 16,590. And the last time she tagged it was 77.5 as it was on its way to 550. This was a long on the NQ. Now, the final trade to target, the weekly zone above, was 18,060/65. We actually hit 18,122. So from 78.15 to 81.22. I encourage you to do that math and then multiply it times $20 a point. Okay, these aren't ticks, these are points. Short on crude, sell 59.75, initial target 59.65, and we made it all the way down to 59.38. Okay, at this point in time. Then we had a long on crude that got stopped out, a short on gold that did real nice. Sell 30.20, 30.19 is your goal for the day. The next potential support was 29.90. This is all based on market structure. Look left, that's all you got to do. And the low at the time she worked on this recap was 29.91. So that would be $2,800 per contract traded from the entry to this swing low. Let's see, then we had a long on gold from 30.76 to 77, gold for the day to 30.81, and it looks like we hit on that particular swing 30.84 and a half. So 76 to 84, that is $800 per contract traded. Silver only takes 2 pennies to get your goal for the day. So 28.20 to 28.18, $20.18. Oh, that was supposed to be 28.18. She caught it. We made it down to 28.11. So from 28.20 to, call it 28.12. That's 8 pennies. That's $400 per contract traded. And here's the long on silver, where we ran from 30.53 up to 30.60 at the time she did this recap. I don't know if she revisited it or not. We'd have to look and see where price currently is, but all of that happened Sunday night. Stock traders wait till Monday morning at 9:30 to go to work. We go to work Sunday night. All of that Sunday night, April the 6th. So now we roll into Monday. Got a long on the ES from 51.40 to 51.74. That's 34 ES points. That's your goal for the week. Short on the ES, long on the Dow, short on the Dow, long on the Russell, long on the NQ, long on crude, short on crude, short on the ES, stop out. Red X means stop out. We got 3 of those this week so far. Short on the Russell, long on the Russell, short on the NQ, stop out, All alerts remain valid opportunities until properly triggered. To maintain orderly records, we will at times mark an alert as no trigger after price has moved far from the entry or a number of days have passed. Just keep in mind an alert with a Z status, that's like the cartoon Z's, when somebody's snoring. Status is still a valid opportunity until triggered. Okay? So even though it gets marked no trigger, that doesn't mean that it's still not a valid opportunity. It is very much a valid opportunity. And especially if it's long, chances are it's going to get filled at some part. It's going to get triggered and filled. So now we roll into Tuesday. Got a couple no triggers. Short on the Dow. Long on the Dow, not triggered yet. Remember, we have 11 that haven't triggered, plus the ones I put out today. Short on the Russell, and then a short on crude. And anything without a designation is part of the 11 that's in the recap that says not triggered. Long on silver, short on silver. And then these are the ones I put out today, so she hasn't recapped those yet. So that's what the Logic 247 alerts look like. And again, if you use them properly, you will learn how to read a chart. And once you learn how to read a chart, you too can become a trader. So let's go. Oh, I guess we need to take a peek at the original alert service real quick. The concierge trade alerts. They're different. The logic alerts come out anytime around the clock. Could be 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Futures trade around the clock. We have traders around the globe. Our day session is our night session, and vice versa. Last night, I was able to get the CTAs out 5 minutes before the Thursday session began. We're in the Thursday session now, everybody knows that, but it began last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I put a note in the discussion group that says CTAs are scheduled to come out at 5:55 p.m. Some days I can, some days I can't. Sometimes life just gets in the way. So what that means is all of our members and all of our trial members had all of these targets 5 minutes before the market even opened. Okay? So let's go look at the chart. We shall go where we always go at this time, to the daily chart of the S&P. Biggest historic rally. Now, yesterday on the broadcast, if you were tuned in, we said the most likely place for the market to find resistance is at the 50% fib retracement and the daily BBC. And what do you know? Now, we also know that when when red and falling and the step line get directly below price, they become potential support. We actually spiked them to touch the 24% reverse fib pretty much to the tick. So what's going to be real interesting is to see how we close today. Okay? Remember, we talked yesterday about what a tough job the market had ahead of it. Now, at the time we were talking, price was down here. So we're above the 24. So now we got to overcome red and falling. We got to overcome the 38. We got to overcome the 50. Now, I spoke about this in the discussion group last night. Anytime you hit a 50% fib on a daily chart, it is a big deal. Institutional traders look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? Has everything to do with account size. Because of the size of their accounts and the size they trade in, They can stay in a profitable position far longer than you or I, and they can weather a drawdown far longer than you or I. So I encourage you to look at the daily chart of whatever you're about to trade for just 2 minutes before you drop to your smaller time frame and start trading. All of the stuff that I told you yesterday that is now unfolded, I could have never gathered all that information off of a range chart or a 5-minute chart or a 30-minute chart. But it unfolded exactly as we discussed yesterday. And it's on yesterday's episode, which is at youtube.com/CFRN. It's not magic, it's not voodoo. It's simply how markets work. But in order to understand how markets work, you got to learn how to read a chart. Okay? All right. All the alerts, logic, and the concierge trade alerts are created on the 30-minute chart. Nothing magic about 30 minutes, just a time frame I chose years ago. They say if it's not broke, leave it alone. So I did. The vertical line separates today, Thursday. Here's Wednesday. Here's Tuesday. Okay. This was the opening candle last night. We opened with price trapped, support below, and because blue and climbing was directly above price, that accessed potential resistance. Now the green line is the BBC. It stands for bull bear cross. When price crosses below the green line, we're bearish and expect lower prices. When price crosses above the green line, we're bullish and expect higher prices, lower prices. With this much red now, the pullback to the BBC holds more often than it doesn't. But when you got this much red and falling leading you down to the BBC, that's when you have a higher probability of this may be the time it trades through the BBC. And it did, but on the retracement, the pullback held. And the pullback held. And the pullback held. And so where are we now? We're at the weekly zone 5191/92, which was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, and we're consolidating. When price encounters a weekly trading zone, only one of three things happens. 70% of the time, it's going to be consolidation, which can look like this, even this is wide-ranging consolidation. 20% of the time rejection, 10% of the time the slice. So overhead, we've got potential resistance at the step line, at red and falling, at the zone where the 30-minute BBC is. So that is resistance times 2. Now, if price can take out the low of the previous candle, right here, then we got a nice wide free-ranging potential run from roughly 51.35 down to 50.59. That's what is that, 70, 60, about 130 points. Pretty steep drop, but so you know where your resistance is, or your resistance, you know where your support is. Okay. In order to trade long, you need to get back above the BBC. Okay. And then look left to see where your resistance is. Okay, we're about to hit resistance right now at the step line. What happens there is very important. If that holds as resistance, then we'll ultimately take out this low, and that will allow us to trade within this very nice window of opportunity that we have down here. Now, the extreme volatility that we're experiencing, if you're new to trading or struggling with your trading, You're probably better off watching, learning, and not trading. Okay. All right. That's the ES. We found support at the zone. That's what we expect. Now we're up against resistance. We'll see what happens. The Dow, here's where we open, just like the ES. All that red and falling took us below the BBC. Now this zone is 3990/95. What was the low? Can I get a low? Oh, it's not popping up. Oh, there it goes. It was 4075. Okay. That's how big the volatility is right now, because it looks like it's just a couple points off, right? Okay. So be very careful. Make sure you know what you're dealing with. So from support in the zone area, you bounce up to the BBC and get resistance, then a leg, a retracement, resistance. Price always reverts to the mean. You got to remember that. Price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean is green. It's called the BBC. And price is always trying to get to a weekly trading zone. If it's above the BBC, it's trying to get to the zone above. If it's below the BBC, it's trying to get to the zone below. We got there, we consolidated, we dropped to the next zone, and what are we doing? Consolidating. Notice the step line is starting to hook right. Once it crosses red and falling, we'll probably see a retracement back to the BBC. One of the other things I put in the discussion group last night is that while we could see a potential pop at the open, you should expect or anticipate a retracement back to the BBC. It's in the discussion group. Go read it with your own eyes. You don't have to believe me. It's there. Consolidating at the zone, to be expected. So what needs to happen? Well, we either need to take out this low, or we need to overcome this resistance, and get back to here. The pullback holds more often than not, so we would anticipate another leg to the downside, unless this is the time that price trades through. On the Russell, here's where we opened. Pull back to the BBC. Now that information was given last night before the open. Before the open, we were told to expect a retracement to the BBC. Why? Because the step line had crossed blue and climbing going into the close. When the step line crosses blue and climbing, you should expect a retracement back to the BBC. Then it becomes a question of will it hold or not. It consolidated 2 candles here at the zone. Then we got a leg, a retracement, a leg, a retracement, a leg, a retracement, a leg, a retracement. You see how the pullback holds more often than not? And we traded through the zone. Now under normal market conditions, when we slice through a zone like that, price will attempt, when it runs out of steam, to retrace back to the zone it sliced through and continue in the direction of the slice. That didn't happen this time. On the NQ, here's where we opened last night, and here's where we retraced to the BBC. We get below it, and on the retracement, the pullback holds, and it holds, and it holds, and it holds, and then we get all the way down to the short target, pretty much to the tip. Crude oil opened right at the zone and dropped right to the BBC. Caught a little bounce, got below the BBC, got a retracement, a leg, consolidation at the zone, a retracement to the BBC, the pullback held, and now we're still consolidating at that zone that was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, 5965/5970. Gold, here's where we opened last night, made a run right up to the long target, retraced to the BBC, overcame the target and the zone, and then on the pullback held. A leg and a retracement, the pullback held. Another leg and a retracement, and so far the pullback to the step line is holding, but we're printing a red candle, and the step line's about to cross blue and climbing, so look for a drop to the BBC. And silver, we can talk about that later when I come back. Michael's going to give us a recap of what happened in the live training room this morning. And then we'll either do some work on the CR charts or some live trading on the TradingView platform. One or the other.
Both.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time for both, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We will see. Here we go. See my charts? Okay. I can see my charts. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday. Partners meeting tonight, 8 p.m., guys. Today is Thursday, the 10th day of April, 2025. Now, if you have not taken a free trial, let's go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button right here. That is going to bring you to this registration page where all that we ask for is your name, your email, your phone number, down here at the bottom. You can give us a TradingView login ID. If you want to have your charts running like they are in the room, give us a TradingView login ID, okay? If you don't have a TradingView login ID, click on this link right here. It will bring you to this page right here. On this page, just follow the instructions right here if you're downloading the TradingView platform. All right, you should be able to get 30 days free on the TradingView platform. You're going to have to pay $7 for the data, but you should be able to get the TradingView charts for free. If you don't want to do stuff in real time, you just want to watch stuff with the delay, you don't have to pay anything for the data, but you'll be watching it delayed. You can watch it you can watch my charts in the room, which will be real time, but if you want to get real time data, you got to pay for that. Okay, we can't give you that for free. Now the spreadsheet, the Russell, we're back and forth all day on the Russell. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. I think the low of the day today on the Russell was right there where we're at, minus 20 ticks, but we were at it more than once, I feel like. And we were minus 20 ticks on the Russell, plus 125 on gold, and plus 19 on the ES. All right, that's how we ended up the morning session. $1,387.50 with one contract. All right, today took 5 minutes in one trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $2,500. We took a total of 38 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're up $13,220 over 6 business days, averaging $2,203 per contract per 2-hour business day. That's the best we've done so far this year. We are only a third of the way through the month right now, though, I think. Right, April's, we have 2.5 weeks left in April. Almost, well, we have 14 business days left in April. I don't think there's any holidays. Except for my mom's birthday, maybe. But that's it. That's all we have. So on the year now, we're at $97,507 with one contract over 59 trading days, averaging $1,652 per contract per 2-hour trading day. If you were to quit trading when you get the goal for the day and add one contract a month, so far this year, you would have only had to work 8.3 hours and you'd be positive $20,832.50 if you did everything just like me. That's a gross number. That's not a net number. The total number of trades I think it took is 201 trades. So whatever your commission is, you'd have to subtract that. And that's 201 trades. That doesn't count the number of contracts. That's 201 individual trades. So this would be 14 trades times 4 contracts, 54 trades times 3 contracts, 54 trades times 2 contracts, and 79 trades times 1 contract. So the actual net would be whatever that is. Okay, just keeping it real. All right, so let's get in and look at the trades then. All right, today we traded the gold, the Russell, and the ES. So let me bring over the ES because we only traded a few times on that. A few times. Yep, our first trade was a stop out. Let's get into it. Okay, here it is. Do halt and back on that to get back to the beginning because there are like a million bars to go through. Almost a million. Maybe less than a million. I don't want to bring this up here and see that. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I gotta click back over here. Dan, are you in here right now? I feel like there was something that I had to get back to you on. And Sean, are you in here right now? You gotta type in the question box. I'm holding. It's taking two hands to do this part right here. Okay. All right. So let's slide this all the way over. This was our first trade on the ES right here. And I stopped out minus 10 ticks on the first trade. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it was trading, so I didn't trade it again for a little while. All right, until we get all the way over, scrolling all the way over. Still scrolling, still scrolling. Here, all right, we picked up 4 ticks on this one, and that put us at -6. We're minus 10 after stopping out on the first one. Picked up 4 there to get us to -6. And then right here, we got on this and it hit the gap down right there. We ended up getting 25 ticks profit on that. And that put us at +19 on the ES. And that was all that I did. Peter, how am I scrolling so fast? You have a hard time scrolling left or right and getting the price. Yes. Put your cursor over here like this, Peter. Hold the Alt button down and then the arrow in the direction you want to go. Okay. If you want to go left or back, do the left arrow. If you want to go right, do the right arrow. Okay. If you got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, that just takes forever. Like right now, I can just do this and go all the way to the end. Look at all the gaps that are in there. What happened? What did Trump say this time? There's some Fed guys that are speaking today. There's a lot of Fed guys speaking today. Yeah, that is a key thing to figure out, Peter. There's things that are really intuitive about TradingView, and it took me a while to figure that out. We hold the Alt and the back arrow, but what you can do? Ask ChatGPT if you have a question about it, rather than try to find it in some sort of thing. As you have ChatGPT, right, Peter? You can just say, in TradingView, how do I quickly scroll backward? And it'll tell you, I think. I don't know. Let's see it. Let's try it. Let's go to ChatGPT and ask the question. Here's a ChatGPT. And here. Am I logged in? I am. Okay. In TradingView, how do I quickly scroll to the left? Let's see what it says. It's thinking. Click and drag the mouse. That's one. Hold shift and scroll wheel. That's another. Scroll wheel. Keyboard shortcuts. Left arrow key. This is the one. Moves the chart slightly left. Shift plus left arrow key moves it further. Page up. Jumps a chunk. It doesn't actually show the Alt one, but the Alt one is what I use. If you use Alt, put your cursor. You can see ChatGPT knows all this stuff, but put your cursor over here, because if you put it over here and you're scrolling, you won't be able to see the time down at the bottom. Like this, you see. Once it gets really going, then well, you can see right now I was making it not true, but my experience has shown that if you do that, to jump where price is, you got to click on the little arrow. You can do that, but to get to where price is, just hover down here. You see this right here is going to be right to where price is. Okay, that'll bring it right to the current price. All right, and there's our TradingView lesson. I'm going to do a lot of lessons today. Hopefully I'll be able to do a Sarah chart lesson here in a minute. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Right? Dwayne wants to get that done. So I'm hoping we're going to be able to get it done. So I'm going to scroll back here on gold the same way. Okay. I'll hold Alt down, then the back arrow. And we had quite a few trades on gold and on the Russell, so I'm just going to start with gold since it's on the left. And there, oops, I went too far. There we go. All right, so now to get price to show, just double left click over here. All right. So our first trade on gold was right here. We picked up 25 ticks. We went right to target on that. That was where we got the goal for the day. The next one was right here. We got a break even. Then the next one over here, we stopped out. That put us down to 10. Then we got 5 ticks there, but put us back to 15. Then we went 12 ticks to 27, then 10 ticks to 37. Then 10 ticks to 47, then 25 ticks to 72, then a break even, then another break even, then whatever that is, 13 ticks to 85, and then 2 ticks to 87, then 1 tick to 88, 1 tick to 89, and then I stopped out on this one. That was a mistake. I only got 3 ticks on that stop out. I only lost 3 ticks, so we went from 89 down to 86. I messed up that trade. I traded my stop the wrong way. Then I really actually did stop out on this one from 86. The full stop out on that one down to 71. And then went from 71 to 72, and then 72 to 97, then 97 to 103, 103 to 119, then a break even, and then right here we went from 119 to 129. Then we stopped out, went from 129 down to 114. We got 2 ticks up to 116. And then our last trade, somewhere in here, we got 9 ticks to get up to 125. And that was what we did on the gold. Gold was really active today. I mean, we could have just traded gold with nothing else. I want to show you guys something. This is something that Dwayne created this morning because I made some videos this morning. In Telegram, Dwayne created a new group called TIQ Videos. You see it right here, TIQ Videos. So if you want to go and see the videos that I created this morning, I created 4 of them right here. One of them was a 1 tick win on gold. One of them was I traded both of these at the same time. We got 25 tick wins on both of those. I traded both of these at the same time, and I stopped out on both of those. Both of those came like within 1 tick again and stopped break even, but I ended up stopping out on both. And this, I just showed how the trades become disqualified. When you're using a conservative trend trade, how it becomes disqualified. And this, I'm going to use it with Dwayne in a few minutes when I get to working on his desktop. Okay, that is called TIQ Videos. It's open to the public. So if you guys want to get in there, you can get in there and copy down those videos. Okay. All right. So that was gold. Let's put the gold back and we'll look at the Russell now because we had a bunch of trades on the Russell. We could have just traded the Russell today too. Even though the Russell ended up negative on, we still could have just traded the Russell. We would have done better just trading the gold. Obviously, we're up 125 ticks on the gold or minus 20 on the Russell. But we're back and forth a lot on the Russell, and I missed a ton of trades. So it's on me that I didn't do well. So our very first trade on the Russell was right here. We picked up 19 ticks. Things were looking good. Then we had a break even. Then we stopped out, and we were at minus 4. Wasn't too bad. We got a break even, and then we picked up, I think, 15. That put us to plus 9. Then we stopped out again, went to minus 14. Then this, I have it on light blue here because we were in chop, and I switched to aggressive trading, right? Rather than the conservative trading, I switched to an aggressive trade here and I took a short in here. And I went from the last one, we stopped out here, went from 14 down to minus 9. Then we got break even and 11 on that to get us up to plus 2. Then we had plus 7 there to get us up to plus 9. Then we had something here to get us up to plus 30. And we had a break even and another stop out that I messed up on. That brought us down to 5 and then a break even there. and then went from 5 to 35 and 35 to 45, then a break even, and then 2 stop outs in a row right here. So we went from 45 down to 20, and then 20 down to -5. Then this was another aggressive trade right here because we got choppy. And so I went from -5 up to +5. I picked up 10 ticks there. Then I stopped out again and went to -20. Then I got a +30, no, +25. I went to +5. I missed a couple of trades, and then I stopped out here toward the end of the session, and that put me at -20. So I was back and forth. I was positive and negative several times, going back and forth between plus and minus on the Russell. I had a rough time with it, but I probably shouldn't have if I would have been focusing on the Russell. You know, there are a couple of trades right here that were nice trades that I would have won. And if I would have just stuck with the conservative trend trades, you know, there was a trade here that was a good one, a trade here that I stopped out on. Then you wouldn't do this trade because that one didn't make it up into the overbought. That's part of the video that's out there. Once it made up into the overbought, this became a valid trade. So I did that when I stopped out. So you wouldn't do a long trade coming out right here, all right? Because, well, you would do this long trade right here because this didn't make it up into the overbought. Then I had that one right there. But let's just go through the trades that I missed because there were a bunch of them. Oh, it's 111 already. I got to get back in there and help Dwayne. Dwayne, are you back yet? Okay, well, let me just finish this up and then we'll get on your desktop. All right, so that's it for this. If you haven't taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on the purple button. There's no credit card required. It's going to bring you to this registration page. Just fill it out. Make sure you give us your TradingView login ID. Okay? Okay. So, Dwayne, do you want to become presenter and then I can just look at your desktop and we can try to work this out? That's what I was thinking.
Sure.
Okay. Then I will make you the presenter. And
I'm
going to switch over to Dwayne's to look at some Sierra stuff, okay? And hopefully we'll get this fixed. Okay. Speaking of Sierra stuff, I don't even have Sierra open on this right now because I did some stuff to make this file for you today. All right. I don't have keyboard and mouse control, but can you bring your Sierra stuff over here?
I will once it gets opened.
Okay. Okay, and a file manager. File Explorer. Okay, there's Sierra. Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
There's that.
Okay. And a file Explorer.
And there's a message log just running and running and running. Which I'll just close.
Okay. Well, so do you want to give me keyboard and mouse control? Yeah.
And
okay, go to data trade service settings.
Well, first you gotta get this thing green, don't you?
Go down to data. The way to get that green is to go to data trade service settings down there at the bottom.
I found a different way yesterday, but that's fine. I'll do it that way.
All right. Spread that out a little bit. You have the wrong thing in there. It's not SC data that you should have. Click on where it says SC data right there. Click on that. CQG Web API, click on that. Not enabled unpackage. Click on that. You're not going to be able to do it because it's not enabled. Click on service settings. See right here, your username and password. The username and password that you created with that special link, that 124-hour link, that's what we would put in there, whatever your username is, whatever your password is. But it says it's not enabled, so I don't think you're going to be able to do it. That is not Dwayne. That's not going to be Dwayne. That's going to be an email address. For me, it's what I used to use to get into my live at StoneX. It is what I still use to get into my live at StoneX most of the time. That's probably right. And whatever the password is you have associated with that. It should be that really long password, probably. Whatever that is. Yeah, a whole bunch of, I think it's 14 characters or something like that. It has to be. Okay. Now, say yes. But, yeah, you don't have it enabled. That's the problem.
that opened this again.
Yeah,
Where
it's because you don't have
now.
it enabled. You're not going to be able to do it. There's something that you don't have, a switch you don't have flipped at StoneX. Go back up to.
I had live data yesterday.
Yeah, but you
There's
didn't
a
have it
place
from the CQG web API. There is another way to get live
connect to
data.
data feed right here.
Yeah. Well, it's going to try to connect to a different one now because we just changed it. So if you go to global settings again, or you go to data trade services again. There, go to that. Oh, the data trade service settings, that one right there. Yep, click on that. Now click on the CQG web API. See, it's not enabled. That's what you need to have enabled so you'll be able to connect to your account at StoneX. You're not connecting to your account at StoneX without that. You might connect to some.
Said he enabled it.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that they need to do, but it's not enabled clearly. I mean, you can take a screenshot of that right there and say this is what it says. So he flipped one little switch, but there's something that's not enabled, and we can go look at the package and see if that's the issue. But send that to Chris and see what he comes back with. I mean, I should be able to get you running with something, but you're not going to connect to your live account until you have that enabled. All right, so minimize the screenshot, and now go back up to the CQG web. Click on the little down arrow right there after trading. Click on that. Yeah. Now in here, there is SC data. Scroll down to SC data down there. Click on that. Click apply. Apply all. And say okay. And that might get you connected. Say yes. Okay, reconnecting. There you go. Now you're connected. Okay, now it's loading it up again. So now you're connected here. So let's just go through the other steps that you're going to have to do right now. Go out to that folder that you made, Dwayne. Well, there's two things you're going to have to do. I guess no, you can just do this. Go out to the folder that you created today. I put a file out there for you because it was too big to put on the web page. The one in Telegram.
I have not created a folder.
That Telegram channel that you created is what I mean. Telegram channel. Do you see it?
Yep.
I only see what's on this screen.
I'm downloading it.
Okay. That was too big to put on the web page. I did put one on the web page if you want to bring up the web page. Or I can do it. I can take the charts back and
it's
do it myself.
It's in the process of loading right now.
Okay.
Okay, the file is now unzipped.
Okay, but where is it unzipped in?
That's a great question.
If you can bring over your file explorer so I can see it, then I can help you with that.
Probably in the downloads folder, I would imagine.
Do you want to bring over your file explorer so I can see it? There it is. Okay, and on Telegram desktop, open that up.
Sierra chart file, no, that was earlier this week.
Yeah, that's not it. Open Telegram desktop, that's where it's going to be. Okay, so you got to find that zip folder because we got to move the zip folder to the right place.
And what's it called?
I forget what I called it. TIQCR right there. Right there. That one. Copy that.
Okay.
Now go over to, on the left-hand menu.
I installed on the D drive because I'm running low on space on my C drive.
Okay. Open up the D drive then. That could be part of the problem too. Open up the D drive and go to Sierra.
No,
Sierra chart.
It said in the instructions that you can put it on.
Okay.
On
Open up Sierra chart and then data. Okay, paste that file inside data. Okay, now open the file Double click on the file. Take all those files, copy them, and put them in data.
And where's
Just
data?
paste. Yep, anywhere in data. Yep, just paste them in there.
Okay.
Okay, let them all go in there. And then we're going to have you up and running, but you're not going to be connected to your live data. I mean, you'll be connected to a live data, but you're not going to be connected to your account. You're going to have to send Chris that thing to be able to connect to StoneX. There's something that's missing on their end, I think. Okay, so now go up to File in Sierra Chart. Go to File. And open Chart Book. Right there. Okay, do the TIQ Chart Book right there, that one. And say Open. Now you can ignore the actual charts, but when it loads up, it should be loading up all the DOMs and everything else, with all the data and all the brackets and all that stuff. I don't see that loading right now, but it might be on another screen that it's popping up.
I have
Okay.
I have this, which is unreadable. There we go.
And there you go, and it's the wrong symbol.
And there's several more that popped up on the other screen as well.
Okay. Well, it's the wrong symbol. So in this, just so we can get it to the right symbol, go to Chart. Right there. Click on that. Go to Chart Settings. And when that pops up, that did not pop up on this screen. There it is. Click on the symbol up on the top right there where it says FUSGCEJ. Click Select. And go in there and select the right one.
Which
see,
is?
this is all. It's going to be under the comics. GCEM.
This one?
Yeah, go under Futures and Comics right there, yeah. And the GC.
This one?
Yep. Open that up so you can get down to the next. No, don't. Click on the plus sign right before. Yeah, click on that. Okay, and now the GCM25. Click on that one. Okay, now say OK down at the bottom. And say Apply All. Okay, and you can close this window. It should be good on that DOM right now. All right, there's something up with that. Is it still? Yeah, it's the GCM. There's something up with the data that you have here.
GCM
you're not connected. Yeah, you're not connected to the right data. That's.
So how do you fix that?
We can try to open a fresh DOM. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's saying your data is delayed even when you're in there. No, I don't have keyboard and mouse control.
I haven't paid for the package yet.
You haven't paid for any package yet.
No,
you paid the $36 for the chart.
No, because it automatically created a SIM account.
Okay. Well, we got you to the point where you can open up the chart book, and the chart book didn't. That's not the right chart book. Let me do something else. Bring up your a browser, please, if you can. Bring us up a browser, and this is the way everybody else is going to have to do it. Now, I created that file for you, and I put it out there in the Telegram. because that file was too big, but I created a separate file in here. If you go to our website, mytradingIQ.com, and then go to trading platforms, and scroll down to the Sierra chart installation right there. Click on the download. This is just going to have the Russell in it. So click on the download. And that's going to download to your, right there. Okay, so it's probably in your downloads folder. So now bring up the File Explorer again, if you can. And just go to that file, and that's fine. Okay, so copy all those files. You might want to rename that TIQ chart, the one up at the top. Rename that to just take off the dash before it. I guess it's not letting you rename it. I don't think it's going to let you. Not when it's zipped up, it won't let you rename it. You can copy it and paste it, though. It'll have a different name if you copy and paste it. You might be able to do that. Copy all those files and
Paste where?
stick those in the same Sierra chart data. Now you go to the C down there, because I think it probably installed it in C, because those files that we were looking at weren't the right files. So go down to the C down there at the bottom. Click on that, and nope. Okay, it didn't install it. Good. All right, good. Go back to the D then, and do it in Sierra chart data. Put all those files in Sierra chart data. You might want to close your Sierra chart first, though. Actually, it probably won't matter. Just try to paste it in the data folder. See if you can paste all those files in the data folder.
Where's the data folder?
It's up at the top. Right there. It's going to overwrite a bunch of them because they all have the same names. Yeah, replace the files if you can. Good. Okay. So now go back to Sierra. There it is. Okay. That got blown away up. Can you get to the file part of this? I mean, I only see something that's really expanded in front of me. That's file. There you go. Go to File, open chart book. Oh, there it is. Okay, now I see. And now try that one, that TIQ chart file right there. That's the new one. See the time on it, I think it's new one. Okay, so now that probably just brought up one of those DOMs. It should have brought up just a Russell DOM.
What it does is it keeps, every time I do anything, it starts another one of these massive
Bring that up
log
so we can see
files.
it. Bring it up so we can see what it's doing.
It doesn't want to move. There we go.
Okay. So it's requesting data for all those files. Right. That chart book, I thought I was going to be able to create a chart book that just had a minimal number of things in it, but it's trying to pull up all the things that I had in my chart book. And you probably don't have Denali data feed, and you probably don't have all those other individual symbols that I had in there. The chart book actually had a bunch of things. That's what it's saying in here. So, okay, we don't need to see that right now.
Some will not allow.
Some will not allow
GCM
GCM
25.
Yeah. It's because once you're logged into the CQG web API, the actual symbol is a lot different than the symbol that you're actually seeing on your charts right now. The symbol starts with f.us.something. That's the name of it right there, f.us.ep. That's the ES that you see right there on that chart. So once you're actually logged in, that symbol means something, but right now it doesn't mean anything. That's all the error messages that you're getting.
It's green, so I'm logged in.
So let's go try to connect to something else then. Bring over go to File again. So just go to File and we'll see if we can create something that's useful here. Go to File, New, create new. open trading DOM. Do that. Open trading, not for chart, just do open trading DOM. Ooh. Okay, so you go to DOM. That's good. You're not connected to anything. It's ENQH, so that's the H contract. Go to window. This is, again, it's FUS. That's not the right symbol. But go to window. You can't do it from here. You should go to chart. Go to chart. Sorry, go to chart. Chart settings. Symbol. Go over there and change the symbol. Hit select. And in here, go to futures CME. Okay, it doesn't say these are delayed, so scroll down a little bit. And see what we have in here. All right, so the ES, find the ES in here. ES right there, CME Mini 5, choose that one. But choose the plus arrow there, yeah, the plus thing. And then choose the M contract. Okay, say okay on this. Then hit apply all. Okay, get rid of this. We want to see the actual DOM. Close this too. It's the actual DOM that we want to see, and that should have changed the DOM, wherever the DOM is. I can't see it. It's probably behind this black window right here. All right, go to, I can't see your whole screen either. Go to window at the top. You might be able to find it under window. Those control bars, no, I don't see it. You're gonna have to find it down. It's probably in the bottom. If you hover over the Sierra chart logo thing down at the bottom, if you hover over that, it's probably gonna be down there. I can't see that either.
Which one am I looking for?
You're looking for the ES DOM. Okay, there. Nope. That's not the ES. That's gold.
I hovered over, clicked on ESM 25.
This whole chart settings thing right here, you can minimize this or close this chart setting thing. You don't need that open right now. There is your ESM 25. It's not connecting to the data, so you got to go to another data feed. I thought that you'd be able to use that one data feed, but you can't. So what you got to do is go back to File and then Data Services. File, Data Trade Service Settings. There's got to be another data feed that you can connect to down there. And SC data was something that other people have connected to, but click on the down arrow there and we'll see if we can figure this out. CG Web API, not enabled on package, DTC subinstance, generic data. That might be it. I think it's it, but not enabled. Not enabled. SpotX, test exchange. I don't know what the test exchange client is, or the generic data. Try the generic data and see what that connects to. I don't know what that's going to give you. Say apply all, and oops, it doesn't look like you hit apply all. You say apply all and then say okay. There you go. Now you did it. Brings this back up. You can close this because it doesn't really matter. Say yes, and now say okay. What's it saying?
Apply all.
Yeah, it's going to bring up that box again, probably. Okay, just say okay on this then. And see if it connects. Click to roll over. It's fine. Yeah, roll that one. Roll CH to the M. That's good. Okay. Do you have your DOM open still? Did that change? The ES DOM. Okay, that does not look like a change. Let's try to open another DOM right now.
ESM
Go to File.
25.
Yep. Let's try to open another DOM though.
There's a when I hover over the Sierra symbol down on the taskbar, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DOMs open.
Are any of them connected to anything? I mean, you can close this one. It's not connected to anything. It's not doing us any good.
Yes.
Well, the only thing we can do is try to reconnect it or recreate it. So I just say yes to this and we'll recreate it. Just say yes to this and then go to File and Create DOM. File, New DOM. Or File, whatever it is. New Open Trading DOM up there. Open Trading DOM. That one, yeah. Now go choose the ES again.
Well, it says the selected symbol is ESM 25 right here.
Okay.
So
then open it if you can. I can't see that part of your screen.
I don't understand why.
Because our resolution is different. It's not visible on my screen. I can see the top of the letter C where it says close. But you click on Open Trading DOM down there. Probably will do it. Okay. Still got nothing. You're not getting live data for some reason. You're not connected to your standard.
Because I haven't paid for it yet.
Well, then I guess you have to go pay for it. I don't know about...
Do you know how to do that?
Yes, you have to go back to Sierra.com. Or you can do it from here. I can show you another way to do it from here. If you close this thing, get this out of the way because I can't see anything beyond there. Go to Window. I think it's under Window. Nope, go to Help. I'm sorry, go to Help. And go to Account Control Panel. And in here, you're signed in, and you're in the trial package. Scroll down a little bit more. See, you don't have any service pack. You have to have service pack 10. That's probably why it's not enabled. You have to have service pack 10.
Okay, how do you do that?
Click on change right there where it says change service pack. Click on that. And now scroll down. Data feed, data feed, data feed. This one right here. You went by it. Oops.
This is all the Denali
right
stuff.
Yeah, but there's one other thing you need in there, but hang on. I don't have keyboard and mouse controls. This makes it really hard for me.
Oh, I can give you keyboard and mouse control. No problem.
I don't even know if it's going to help because you gotta get to the service packs. You're not in the service packs here. These are the different data feeds, but you got to get in the exchange agreement.
Yeah, mouse control.
Okay, so available services disabled. Let's go to update and set. Zero chart says, are you sure you wish to continue? let's go to OK. Did that bring up something? Here it is. Okay, did bring up something else. Let's scroll down if it lets me. Update or renew, we don't want that. Denali data feed. The Denali should be given you something. Exchange agreements. You're going to need to do one of these exchange agreements. This one down here. You need to do that one. I don't think you have to do that right now, but you're going to need to do that one at some point. Okay, and your service pack to enable, activate a service pack available, so choose use time service pack above, select the service package. Payment system, follow the instructions below. You have a zero balance, so you're gonna have to pay the $36.
Right.
And region Arizona, let me scroll up a little bit here. No, that's not what we want. I'm looking for the service pack. I don't remember where to set that service pack. To manually extend your range.
It says disabled. What's in that drop?
I know. I clicked on that a minute ago and it brought up this other thing, and I said okay, and it brought me back here.
So hit cancel, but hit the drop down window where it says disabled.
Yeah. Oh, this one right here. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Integrated standard 10. That is what we need right there. That is it. Update set. So here we'll do okay on this, and action result. Changing to a paid service requires, from a trial account, requires you have a service balance of at least 10 USD. Recommended payment is 36. So I think right here is where you would actually pay for it. I think you click on that 36 USD over here, and that's going to pay for the service pack. Okay. And if you want, I'll take the charts if you want to do that right now. But service pack 10 is what you need to do. And that's the $36 one. There it is. So right in here is where you do it, down here, make payment and all that business. If you want, I can take the charts back and you can do that right now and we can get back into it. It's up to you. If you want to do it yourself later and come back to it, we can do that too. It's up to you. But I don't think you want to make the payment right now while everybody's watching and it's being recorded on YouTube.
Well, no, I'm not going to type in my credit card number. But
yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. I'll take the charts if you want for a minute. If you want to do it right now.
Are we paying for the right thing? Did it ever say Service Pack 10?
We chose Service Pack 10 and we clicked on $36 to pay the $36. So yeah, right here you're paying $36. What you actually do is put the $36 in, and then you can reuse that $36 towards different things. But we chose Service Pack 10, and it said it wouldn't do it unless you have a minimum of $10 in there, and it recommended paying the $36. So the way that you do it is you put $36 in, and then we go back and choose Service Pack 10. I know it's
simply pull this down here and make the payment.
Okay.
Make a payment.
Okay. Because we can't see that. Let me see who's watching right now. Robert, you weren't in this morning, were you, Robert? I don't remember seeing you in there this morning.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Make payment now and activate recurring billing. Make one-time payment and save
it's
card.
Up to you.
I'll make a one-time payment and see if it's going to actually work.
Okay.
I don't want to get banged every month for something that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It says, are you sure you wish to continue? Okay.
I believe that's how I did it to begin with.
Payment successful.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so now let's go select Service Pack 10. Here, I have this. We'll go to Account Control Panel again. And change package. We don't have any package right now. Change package, set package for renewal. Okay, and here. I can only see part of your screen. Let me put it over here on my bigger one. Can I see any more if I put it on? No, I can't. Yeah, so in here we're going to select, if I have the mouse, I just lost the mouse. All right, there it is. Okay, oops.
Oh, sorry, I grabbed the mouse. Go ahead.
Here, and this should be Service Pack 10. Can't see. I don't think that's Service Pack 10. Service Pack 10 should be $36 a month. Integrated standard. I think this is it. I can't see what it says on the left of that. There you go. Now I can see it.
It says 10, integrated standard.
That's the one. Update set.
Are the rest of you guys unable to see my screen?
Okay, little usage time, Dwayne, Service Pack 10. Enabled integrated standard. It includes activating exchanges with exchanges. And the one thing you're going to have to fill out at some point, I don't think you have to do it right now, is this agreement right here, Dwayne. You're going to have to fill that one out. That's the same stuff you have to fill out with TradingView when you hook up to a live account to get live data. Okay, so you have to just do that at some point. But right now, we should be able to go back. Can you bring up just shut off your Sierra charts and turn them back on. Okay, and then bring that up, and we'll see if we can get it going. Robert, would you like to set up a meeting with me? I know you're in the trial, and your trial's going to end pretty soon. Robert M.
So on the taskbar, I clicked to close all windows, and it didn't do anything.
It's probably prompting you somewhere to save something. It's right. Probably saying, do you want to save all? Because that's usually what it does for me. So you probably have a window popped up somewhere.
So it looks like the only thing I have is the Nolly exchange feed and the Teton order routing service, which are both two things I don't need, right?
I don't think that's. This isn't it. This isn't all that you have here. Those are forms that you have to fill out. That's all that's saying. It's not saying that that's all you have. Those are forms that you have to fill out. The to-do things. I only came to this to show you the forms that you had to fill out. Okay, so in this one, close this window right here. And yeah, this is the save all that you couldn't see. So just say yes to save all, and it's going to close all the Sierra charts. And now open it back up. That's that save all window that you said.
Okay, so now what do you want me to do? Open Sierra again?
Yep, open Sierra up again. Okay, Robert, that's good. That's good. It's like a day on trial with the TradingView charts, right? That's good. That's good to know. So you get in there next week too then. All right, so close this. And go up to global settings. See, this is good. It's loading up data right here. But I forgot I had the mouse. I can do this myself.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'll go here, and we'll go to data and trade service settings. And we'll go here, and hopefully this will be enabled now. There it is, Dwayne. There it is. All right. So in here, you already have that stuff in there. We need to apply all. Say yes. Say okay. Connected. Connection error from service issue will log on unsuccessful. Username and password is incorrect. Okay, so the username and password for your data trade service settings in here. It's saying that either that username, which is probably correct, or this password, which is one. It's saying one of those is wrong to connect to your CQG web API.
Okay, or apply all?
Hit apply all and then okay. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So it didn't give us any message. Let's do connect to data feed. We're connected. Waiting for historical data. This is good news, I think, Dwayne. The right symbol is right here, so it's downloading.
At the top of the screen, it says CQG web API.
Good. All right, that's good. Now, all those things that I did a little while ago should load up properly now. Let's go. Oops, hang on. Let me move this over. And let me have the cursor again for a
Sorry,
sec so I can make it.
Close all these message logs that keep popping up there. There's the mouse button.
Okay. Here. I'm going to move it so that I'm going to position it so I can see stuff on your screen. You can see the top and bottom of it. There. Okay. That's most of it anyway. So now we should be able to go to File and Open Trading DOM and choose any one of these DOMs right in here. Choose the ES and we'll go to the M contract and say Open Trading DOM. Did that pop up somewhere else? There it is. Okay, and it looks like it's good to go. Can you bring that one up so we can see it? Oops. Close this window.
Apparently
right
not.
Here. And well, this is a DOM right here. Let me see if I can. There it is. There it is. All right. So you got your yes DOM open now. You should have in here. You should have in.
So how do you switch it to the live account?
I'll tell you if it is live right now.
No, it says right on top sim.
Okay, well then, and it's taking a second. You just uncheck this, uncheck that, and you go to live. It gives you this message. You are now in a live account. Okay. So we'll go back to sim for right now while I'm messing around with things. I'll go back to sim. Okay. But that's all you have to do, Dwayne, is just check it right here. Under trade. Check that or uncheck that.
Okay.
So you're in sim right now. And the brackets should all be in here. So this is your ES. And if on the ES you want to do a 10 by 30 bracket, you just choose that. And when you come in here, let's blow this up so I can see a little bit more. Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. Let me minimize that so I can't see so much of it. All right, let me see if I can make this so it's working for me on my screen. All right, but you're connected here now. That's the good thing. And if I right click in here right now, if I right click right there, right, it puts the bracket on. There's your stop 10 ticks away. This is set to 11. Probably to set it to 1, you just choose that right there and it'll be set to 1, okay, instead of 11. Or choose 10 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, however many you want to do. Up here, all the brackets that I created are already up here for you. So these are all the brackets for the different range bars.
So click on the 10 by 30.
Yeah, it's in the 10 by 30 right now. The 7 range for the 10 by 30. A 7 range bar 10 by 30. That's what it's in right now. If you go up here and you right click, see it's got a 10 tick stop with a 30 tick target. It is still set to 11 contracts. So we'll shut that off and choose 1. And there, it's 1. Okay, so the bracket is set up for this DOM. To disconnect this from this, you have to go to trade and uncheck this, and it'll disconnect this part of it over here on the side from this. If you want to save real estate, that's the way that I do it. If I undo that, you'll see that that just went somewhere else, and now you have this right here. And if I want to reconnect it, just go to trade and reattach it. It'll come right back on. Okay. You can also switch between sim and live right here. Okay, you can switch right there as well if you want to. In here is where you set the quantity of the buttons. In here is where you set your target and stuff. You go back to main, and this M right here means menu. Click on that. It's going to show you all this stuff. You can go in here, confirmation. This is, see right now you have, if you were to put a stop on or an order on and move it around, it would give you the confirmations. This is where you turn on and turn off the confirmations, is right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to set your own bracket or a different bracket, you set it up and you come in here and do save configuration, and it's going to bring this up and you just give it a name. And that will save your configuration. These are all the ones that I set up for you. All right. So you are connected now.
How do you detach the left part again?
You go to trade. Yeah, go up here to trade and uncheck this. Okay. And you just have your DOM.
So then you can do this.
Yep. You can make it smaller, but you're going to want to make it a little bit bigger, because to move stuff around, you got to be able to get a hold of it in there. It's in here that you're going to be wanting to grab it. So if you put an order on in here, say, you're going to have to grab it here to move it around. So you don't want it to be too small. Okay. You can change things around in here too. Like if you right click right here, you know, all the buttons that we had on the DT Pro DOM, you see I just made it really small. Probably don't want to make it a little bit bigger than that.
I'll make it a little bigger. So
you gotta
that's big enough.
You're not going to be able to move it around. You're going to be able to grab it with your cursor. There you go, right about there. That's big enough right there. I mean, you can grab it right here and move it around. So try to move it around a little bit if you can, if you want to. And you can change all the stuff that's shown up here at the top. You can show more, you can show less. The one thing that I wanted to do, if you right click right there where your cursor is.
Move this. What is that? Is that?
Well, what you're moving around right now, you're actually in a trade right now. You just filled and you just stopped out. What you were moving there was a stop. When you move, before you get filled, if you move the order around, it's going to move the bracket around with it. But once you get filled, you move the individual parts around. But one thing I want to do is, if you right click right here, Dwayne, not right there, but right click over on the left. Okay, you just entered a trade right there. Okay, you see all that stuff? You don't have the go to break even right there. So let's put that on for you. That was one of those things that I said, customize trade. Oh, is it trade shortcut? Chart trade menu. Here it is. No, it's not the header. Chart trade menu. I think it's this one. Yeah, all this stuff. In the DT Pro DOM, you had buttons for all of these things, right? You had a button for all of those things. The one thing that you don't have over there right now is the here it is, move stop to break even. You don't have that one over there. And I have just the ones that I actually use, you know, because I don't use anything at buy market or sell market or anything like that. So I had removed all that and that and that, because I do all that with the mouse click. The buy limit, sell limit, all that stuff I do with the mouse click. Buy stop, sell stop, you do all that with the mouse click. So it's redundant to have all that stuff in there. This is what I have left in mind. And if you say okay, now where'd your DOM go? Bring your DOM back up. Okay, now if you right click over here on your DOM, you have move stop to break even is right there, right at the top. cancel all, flatten and cancel, and reverse and cancel. Reverse and cancel, you can get rid of 2 probably. We don't really do that. These are the 3 that we do, that we click all the time. All the other things that you normally had on your DOM with with DT Pro, you do with a right mouse click or a left mouse click, because all those are set up the same. Okay.
Where's the confirmation?
I got rid of it, but I'll show you. You got to do that individually on the DOMs. That's going to be under the trade thing. I'll go to trade, and you got to attach the trade window part of it. You got to reattach the trade window, and then go to the menu right here, and then go to confirmation right here, and take those are so you don't have any confirmations right now. If you check those, then you'll have confirmations. But this one I shut it off
until I'm comfortable using the platform. I want them all checked.
Oh, okay. All right. Well then, let's do that. Go to this and go to confirmation, and we'll check them all. Oops. I think you have to check them all individually like that. Yeah, you have to check them all individually. So who knew? All you had to do was make the payment. All right. There's one left. Order cancellations. Okay, so now you have them all checked. And by default, modifications is checked by default on all the other DOMs, I think. But there. So now if you go to File and Save Chart Book, Save As, we'll give it a new name. Like we'll click on this and we'll do DR, DRTIQ, and we'll save it here. And now, if you close this, like let's do this. Let's just close this.
Should it say ES somewhere so that you know which one it is?
Well, you're probably gonna add a whole bunch on there. You know, that's just one DOM. And we'll do save to all. And now if you open it back up, because it's gonna open it up to the wrong chart book. I haven't figured out how to make it open up to the right chart book. But if you open it up right now, Dwayne, click on the Sierra charts again right now and open it up.
No, Peter, there is no bird over at Sierra charts. And yes, it is this complex to set up.
Yeah, it is. And no, there's nobody. I knew when I chose the Sierra charts that this was going to be a hassle. But, you know, I'm stumbling through everything, the problems that people are having, because everybody's got different problems. Everybody's at a different place. It's like now, Dwayne, you hit close on this and it should open right up. It should open right up to your settings and connect for you and everything. See, it's loading all the data that we just chose for it. And it should actually automatically connect for you too. It doesn't look like it did, but it should. So I don't have keyboard and mouse control right now, but if you go to File and connect data,
I didn't take back keyboard and mouse control.
No, I know. Sometimes it just goes away. All right. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, I do have it again. Okay, you had it, and that's what it is. Okay, so we'll go here to Data Trade Service Settings, and all that stuff is correct. So just say OK on that.
So you got to do that every time you open the platform?
You shouldn't have to, but so you're all connected, and now you want to open your chart book because it doesn't open the right chart book, right? It opens example chart book all the time. So open up your chart book, and then you have the DOM that we just created and all the other stuff. Okay, now you don't need all those charts. You can go through and close all these charts because they're just drawing data. You know, you're not going to use any of these charts. So, you know, you can close all these things. I don't know why those things are there anyway. It's like they open one for every DOM. This open, I think, they open a chart. Because they're just, you know, they're just using up data. I know we have unlimited data and all that, but it's still processing stuff that you don't need to process. And so you should be left with just your DOMs at the end of all this. See, this is the M contract on the YMZ for last year, so you're not going to have any data in there. That's fine. But your DOMs should still be there somewhere. I don't know where your DOMs are, but
They're down on my taskbar.
Okay.
With the Sierra. There's only
Yeah.
one DOM open.
I can't see a task bar. So.
I know you can't.
But go bring up that one DOM and I'll show you something about that one DOM. What you
There
can
it
do
is.
on this way. Good. What you can do on this, watch this. You can go to chart and I'm sorry,
Duplicate chart.
Yeah, it's gonna be something like that. It wasn't
Right
chart. Yeah, duplicate. I think it's some duplicate chart, right? Yeah, I made another DOM just like this. Now you can go in here and just change the symbol on it. Change the symbol and change the bracket for the appropriate symbol. Okay, and you can do that for each one, and you'll have it all set up. Whatever you want to trade. So remember to trade the symbol. You go to Window. I'm sorry, not Window. Sorry, Chart. Chart, and Chart setting. Come on. Mouse is not going as fast as my mouse.
That hot dog cart's starting to look pretty good.
And here you go. Come in here and choose whatever you want. All right. So I don't know what other chart you want to have open. Did you have another DOM open that you wanted to look at?
Yes, is fine for now.
Okay, well, I'll leave it alone. All right. Well, there you have it.
So we have two identical charts. We only need one.
You only need one. I'll close one of those. And there. It's live, and that is...
So you have to save it so that it reopens?
Yeah, this one, going down here to do save. So next time you open it up, it'll just have the DOMs. Or just have the DOM. Right? DRTIQ, save. And there you have it. That's all. So you are all set up now. You're connected to live and demo. And you didn't need to pay for the Denali, so I gotta figure out how to undo that extra $13 a month I'm paying for. Yeah, so there you have it. You're all set up. It took us a little longer than a normal session, but we got it done. All right. So with that, I can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. Actually, it's been in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona. There you have it, Dwayne.
Okay. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Today, it took 5 minutes and one trade to get to $2,500 bucks. I think you had one more market to go through.
Good job.
Thank you. Cuban Partners meeting tonight, 8 p.m.
All right, guys. We'll pick up where we left off. Thank you very much, Michael.
You're welcome, Dwayne.
All right, guys. We left off. The only market we didn't cover was silver. Here's where we opened last night. Price always reverts to the mean. Pull back holes more often than not. And in that message that I put in the discussion group last night, I said on all the markets, expect a retracement to the BBC. And I think there was only one market where that didn't happen, gold, immediately. So you got your pullback to the BBC, the pullback held, sent you right up to the target. And it actually spiked up and hit the zone. The zone that was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. So resistance will always send the market looking for support. Now this support right here, as you can see, is the support right here, market structure. Support will send the market looking for resistance, which it found at the target, it looks like, pretty much to the tick. Let's see what we got. Oh, missed it by a penny. Well, the candle itself opened at 31 and it ran up 18 cents. 2 pennies gets your goal for the day. So that candle right there is worth $900 per contract traded, if you got out at the exact high, which was 1 penny shy of the long target. So one last look at the daily chart. Okay, the support here at the 24. So we got support times 3. We got red and falling, black step line, the 24% fib. As I suggested yesterday before the markets opened in the discussion group, or discussed on the broadcast yesterday, that we should see the 50% fib overhead. And I also said that on any daily chart, a 50% fib retracement, whether it's regular fibs or reverse fibs like this, is always a big deal. Institutional traders are looking at daily, weekly, and monthly charts, the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. So, yesterday, that is the biggest historical move in the history of the markets right there. And the fact that we would get about a 50% retracement off of that, maybe not quite 50. Well, actually, at this point, we were real close to 50. Go from the low to the high. And we actually, we did more than a 50. Wait a minute. Hold on there, cowboy. Here. Get rid of this. There. So let's try that again. From the low to the high. This would be a 50% retracement of yesterday's move up, and as you can see, we hit it to the tick. So bigger picture on the daily, we hit the 50% reverse fib yesterday. That was the high of the day. And today we retraced exactly 50% of yesterday's session. Pretty cool stuff. Just learn how to read the chart. Okay. All right. To become a member, go study up at mytradingiq.com. When you're ready to become a member, send an email to support@cfrn.net. In the subject line, put "I want to become a member." In the body of the email, put your name, your phone number. We're not going to call you, but we're going to send you an email that explains what it means to become a passport holder and everything you have access to. And there'll be a link you can click if you decide you want to become a trader. You're going to get 2 hours of live interactive training every trading day. 9 out of 10 new traders fail because they do not have a teacher. Plain and simple. Along with 2 hours of interactive training every day, you also get private one-on-one mentoring, the strategy you learn, the indicators you own as a passport holder are fluid across all markets and all time frames. Stocks, futures, crypto, Forex, ETF, doesn't matter. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. From support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. That's why it's important to learn how to read the chart so that you know where to anticipate resistance and support. And based on 19,330, I think we're at 19,340 Logic 247 alerts. We've averaged on a weekly basis 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out, simply based on market structure. But you got to learn how to read the chart. Use the logic alerts for the reason intended. Remember, we're approaching a big round number at 20,000. Okay. You'll also get, along with the Logic 247 alerts around the clock, you'll get the concierge trade alerts the second they're published every evening. Whether it's 5 minutes ahead of the open like it was last night or shortly after, I always put a note in the discussion group if they're going to come out at 5:55 p.m. Eastern or not, just so you're not waiting for something that isn't going to happen. Every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, you're going to get the weekly trading zones. Once they're published Monday morning, they're carved in stone for the entire week. They don't change in any way whatsoever. You'll be able to attend the members-only workshop every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Guys, have your questions ready, okay, so that we can hit the ground running at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. You get the golden key that opens all the private channels in Telegram. When you're on the trial, you have access to the public channels. Once you become a passport holder, you got access to everything. So send your email here. Let us know you want to become a member, and we'll still have time to get you into the members only workshop tonight. Okay, we're going to wrap it up with our good word for today. Matthew 5:13 and 14. You are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Jesus gave us two everyday metaphors so that we could clearly understand how he wants us to serve and represent him each day. So let's take a quick look at each of them. Number one, salt. The only thing that can threaten salt is sitting in a shaker so long that it gets damp, loses its flavor, and can't be sprinkled. Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. That's Matthew 5:13. The word flavor means to enrich. It's not enough to enjoy good preaching and rich insights from your Bible reading. You're called to share and sprinkle them on others. So we're called to be salt and light, so here's number two, light. Instead of isolating yourself from the world, you're supposed to illuminate it. Darkness is not a threat to light. It's where the light does its best work. Jesus said in Matthew 5:14, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. And the word gospel, that just means the good news. In a world of increasing despair, turmoil, and tariffs, you are called to bring the light of the gospel to those who are living in spiritual darkness. So the word for today, be salt and light. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with his mercy and with his grace. I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.